Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? This is Dead Action Jones. I got a little surprise this morning that when I woke up, they were like, "Hey, you know the new Kirby game with mouthful mode?" And I was like, "Yes, of course I know. The internet will never let us forget. What about it?" And there was a demo. So, what better way to spend the morning than with a new Kirby game? I was going to say with a cup of coffee, but I don't have a cup of coffee yet. I haven't even gotten that far in my morning. I saw this and said, ooh, boy. So, in the demo, I played through it. There's 3 stages. One has a boss, and then 2 stages. So if you don't, obviously you wouldn't be here if you were worried about spoilers. After you beat the demo, it unlocks the ability to change your powers to the evolved versions, which is it's a new thing in this, but having combo powers has been a thing. It was a thing in Kirby and the Crystal Shards on the 64, which I still think is the best Kirby game because you can combine powers. So I'm excited to try out the evolved powers here on this. I have not done it yet. I literally beat the demo, unlocked the evolved powers, and then was like, man, all right, time to go record the thing and see what there is to do and show everybody else. So here we go. Starting off, so Kirby games always been kind of an interesting, I feel like a lot of Nintendo IP falls into this. There's always more mature players playing it, but then there's also it's also skewed to a lot of younger players and a lot of parents wanting their kids to play games, right, even younger. And Kirby looks so innocent that it looks very chill and whatever, but a lot of those fights, and especially some of the boss stuff later in the games, are pretty challenging. So it looks like they've added Spring Breeze mode this time, which is like, you've got a ton of health, it's fine, play the game, enjoy it, it's beautiful. And then there's Wild mode, which gives you extra star coins if you play through it, which is kind of, I feel like that's a nudge, like, this is how I actually want you to play it, but if you got a baby in the house who wants to play, they can play some Kirby too, and that's fine. Which I actually think is a smart idea, so bravo on them for that. And here's the intro. Yeah. I just looked over at the capture, and I saw letterbox on the top and bottom, and I was like, oh my god, did something not resized properly? No, it's just a cutscene. Oh man. I just thought for a second that the entire recording was with the letterbox. First off, the textures in this pre-recorded stuff, like the hair and stuff, is nuts. Music is always good, but it's crazy how good some companies and some teams can make games look. Like, everything about this game looks absolutely phenomenal so far. And then you have Legends Arceus, which I know it's not technically Nintendo, but it is also Nintendo. That game is the most fun to play, but then you look at this and you're like, okay. Somebody needs to have a powwow at the greenhouse and talk about how you make so much money. Because clearly the team that is handling this is onto something. And you can say, oh, well, Kirby has a pretty basic design. Well, that's true. But so does some of the Pokemon. Hello, Voltorb. The first thing that stood out to me in this part right here was the fact that he has sand particles on him that actually fall away. I know there's no way that has to be a scripted thing that someone actually went to the time to do, because there's no way the Switch could do that. But it still is a really nice touch, and it looks really good. So you start off on I didn't know a better way to do it than to just go through, but you start off on what I call Crash Bandicoot Beach, and you can eat things, and you become Fat Kirby. And so B button, inhale, A button, jump. You can do the hover, and you can go for quite a while hammering that button, and then eventually Kirby starts, it's not like, 3 jumps and you're out like in Smash. That was Smash Brothers, is like 4 or 5, I guess. It's been a while since I've played Smash, but you do technically have a pretty good, they actually call it a hover. I guess it kind of is. I just think of tech stuff when I think of hover. And I'm going to guess that you use these coins in the full game to upload to repair that village that they were talking about. They were talking about this being a game where you build a town. in the full game, and that sounds exciting to me because I love games that have some kind of base that you level up as you play. So I'm very excited about that. My first opinion of this game is I don't like the sword power up, and I'll tell you why when we get to it. And I think this game feels like Mario Odyssey in the best way. So, like, playing it, even looking at it, like it looks like a Mario Odyssey game to me, which again, that's probably a positive. I mean, it is from the point of view of me saying it, but you get what I'm saying. I don't know where they're going to go, or if this whole game is going to be this. I'm sure there's no way, right? It would just be this one messed up city, even though that's the name of the game. But I will say it would have been cool to have gotten a glimpse of another biome or something from here. Excuse me, sir, I would like your master sword. Okay, so the reason I don't like the sword power up, and maybe you'll get where I'm coming from. So when you attack enemies in this game with other powers, when you hit them, it knocks them away. What I ran into with the sword is if I kept hitting enemies, they would keep their hitbox even after you'd killed them. And if you stop swinging, then they will go flying. But if you don't stop swinging and you walk forwards, you will bump into them and it will hurt you. So like, knocked them away. But if you do the thing where you're like, let me do it to somebody who is not in the air. Hold on, give me a second. I'll get to nose face man over here. It could have just been a bug. It could have been me being hashtag pro gamer, but I did there. See, I'm hitting them, and then I'm hurting myself on the hitbox of an enemy that is literally shooting stars out of them as they're already dead. I don't know. It's a really minute thing in the grand scheme of things. I don't, you know. It could just be a thing that happened, but it makes me not want to use that power. It may be a thing that was intentional. It may be a thing that it just happened to me, because it was nowhere near as bad this time as the, man, that boom has got some beef to it. That's a very, sorry, that's super loud. Bomb powers, roll. You can kick the bombs after you've thrown them like Bomberman, or you can hold the button while standing still to throw them. I think this is probably my favorite power in the demo. There's not a ton as far as I can tell, and I haven't tried them evolved yet. I will turn on the evolved powers for the next level, but for this one, I figured we would just go through so I could show you the basic stuff so you can actually see a difference in the powers. Oh my god. There we go. So I'm like, boop, boop. All right, who's ready to get a mouthful? See the cutscenes? It just looks so good. Even the game out of cutscenes looks good. But these guys, I find it hard to believe that they're bad guys. I get everything in Kirby is adorable, but they're so cute. They're so cute. I love them. Do you think they were made for, plushie and marketing, or do you think they were made just to be, you know, whatever? March 25th is the day. Oh, sorry, I'd forgotten. For some reason, I was thinking it was in May. I get that it's coming up, but I was double checking. March 25th for the release. So we're mouthful mode now. B button, rockets. Excuse me. A button jumps. Holding the Y button will get rid of your whatever you've got a mouthful of, and it will also, if you have a power, like I have the bomb power right now, if I wanted to get rid of it, I could hold that button to spit it out. It's not a super long demo, but I would say it's just enough to get you where you're going and give you a taste. Like it's pretty good. Also, if you've played a Sonic game, that just looks like the one of the I don't know if they call them star coins or what they call them in Sonic. I think they're called just red rings, but they have a star in the middle. But everything has a name, so for something. It's like, oh, those aren't coins, those are they're rings. All right, I'm gonna stop ranting now. Back to getting a mouthful. So the first time I heard that bird, I thought my cat was throwing up outside. Because I literally, like, I thought they were outside the office just going, and I was like, oh no, oh no. And then all of the birds come across the screen about at that moment. I was like, thank you. I think it's better that it's actually a bird making that noise and not my cat. Yeah, I don't know. Every track I've heard in this, there's not many. This may be the only other track besides the title screen and that one song that plays during the stages that I've played so far, but it's still some good music. Some very good tunes. It almost sounds like somebody's like doing a cover of like a Loop on the Third intro theme. Like they look up and like Goemon is there with his sword. It's like Loop on the Third. Yeah. It's early. This is this is pre-coffee. It's fine. You'll get over it. Bomb time. It's just so satisfying every single time. Until you miss, and then it's not as satisfying. But this power feels very good just to eating those bombs. Whoop. Almost got myself. There we go. That will never be dissatisfying. It will always just be a joy because it's just such a, I don't know, that something about that jingle is just so pure, man. Like in every game, everything you do, whatever it is, you win in Smash Brothers as Kirby and he does that across the stage and you're like, yeah, give me the dopamine. All right, so basically there's a village. We don't get to do anything with it in the demo. I don't know if this is the actual the village or not, but I'm not gonna touch on the story because it literally is just you meet this person named Elfalin and then you play a stage and you play a boss and it's over. So away we go. Aw. All right, so I'm excited to try out these evolved powers. So here we go. And I feel like this stage is a little beefier than the stage we just did, which I guess is because it's probably the very, very, very first thing you do and it's supposed to be smaller. But, whoa, did I just notice oh yeah, okay. So check out the frame rate on on the two foxes in the back. And then as I get closer, you literally watch them swap models from their low frame rate. But I also would like to point out in their defense, they're that far away and they're rocking like multiple frame per second animations. If they were that far away in Legends Arceus, they would be like it would be a two-dimensional model that would be flipping between two images to represent motion. So that might have been a little jarring to look at first, but like see you see where the cutter guy is back there? Like that's like the maximum rendering distance for a lot of the stuff in the background. But it's not Legends Arceus, which again, love that game, but I now am like obsessing over looking at every Switch game's long distance model rendering. Sorry, goodness gracious. Ooh, okay. So this first power, you just have a boomerang in the normal version. You give a single, and apparently it's okay. So it's just double. So it may not be. I don't know if we're gonna get anything complicated, if we're gonna end up having the powers from the first game, but from Crystal Shards, and maybe we'll get the combo powers. I thought that was what it was going to be, but it looks like it may just be like, oh, you go from being sword Kirby to dual sword Kirby, or you go from being cutter to chakram cutter, which apparently just means you have two, which sure, that's fine. It's still a cool upgrade. It's still pretty satisfying to use, so no complaints. All right, it's time to get a mouthful again. Ow. So even when you have a power, you can still inhale things. All right, so vending mouth. You have a certain amount of ammo. Ow. And apparently if you waste cans, you can go collect them all. So it's not like super unforgiving to where like if you just hold down the button, you're not just gonna lose all of your ammo. As long as you can snag it up fast enough. But I will say that it is oddly satisfying if you like using miniguns in games. It does have that feeling where you're just like, oh yeah, well, here's a Thompson. I don't think the traffic cone is a good power so far, but that's just me. It's fine. It is satisfying to use in the places where I have used it, but walking around as a traffic cone is not very fun. All right, down we go. Olay! Oh, weird. So you can throw... If you hit somebody, it'll offset your... Interesting? I wonder if it has a rendering thing. It's like... Also, I love that Kirby is like the only Nintendo character that breaks the fourth wall in-game. Alright, I want to try the bomb power now, because I gotta know. Okay, maybe I don't have to know. Oh, chain bomb. Maybe I want to know. Oh, that's good. That's, I like that. Wait, if I throw one and throw one and throw one and... Oh, I like that too much. So I can... Alright, let's see how many we can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Oh, okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. No, looks like 6 is the max. Okay. Let me try this again just to see. Or not. It's fine. I'm guessing 6 is the max. That looks really... there's something pervert. Something's not right about that. Something is not right about that bomb cap. On top of the cone. I'm curious if it doesn't matter to me if it does or not, because it's like whatever, it's fine. But I'm curious if your coins will carry over to the main game. Because I do continue to be building them up, and I know a lot of games will do that. They'll be like, "Oh, here, have this." They do give you a code if you beat the demo for the main game. It's like a promo code thing, so that's interesting. But only time will tell. Boop, boop, boop. Ooh, that's a pretty nice coin. So yeah, I think the mouthful stuff is. It's interesting because it's basically their way of being like, here, instead of dragging this barrel in place so you can get up to a door in like The Last of Us or Uncharted or something, it's like their way of doing like a physical prop puzzle. It's like, okay, you need to have mouthful mode so you can break this thing, and you need the traffic cone, or you need the car, or you need whatever. Like they're all temporary. Like you basically don't use them more than one little segment. Alright, so there was a Waddle Dee in that when you play it the first time, and I guess it's just a way to get coins to give you... Okay, so I'm curious as to how this is going to work. I'm going to pick the Chakram. And because when I did this here's why. When I did this the first time, There was the bomb versus the sword. I picked the bomb, and it gave me the sword guy. So I'm gonna pick, actually, you know what? I'm gonna pick the bomb and see if it gives me, let's just find out if it gives you the same person as what you pick, or if it's always the sword guy. I mean, so look, yeah, it looks like it is. I guess maybe it's always Wild Edge. Okay, so that's way more satisfying than hitting them with the thing, is to do that, because then it's just AoE damage. I don't know what those warp stars are for. I'm gonna assume there's some kind of upgrade or power, or that's some kind of mechanic that they don't explain. Alright, so if we throw that and throw that, come get some, sir. Dang it, I almost got him. That'll not do. Yikes. Oh, okay, that's what that is, actually. It's if you're Kirby without powers. So you can still beat the boss. Got it. Got it. Oh, weird. Ooh, I want that. I want new sword powers. Oh. Okay, so I'm not just Link anymore. I am now, what was his name? Verdant Blade or something like that? I've already forget something Edge. Was it Verdant Edge? Was it Green Edge? It's fine. That is interesting that you just become the boss. So I guess we can assume all of the bosses. The controls feel good. I'll say that. It actually feels good to not getting hit in the face like that. Does not feel good. All right, see how that dude bounced in place as I was hitting him? That was what I was talking about. It's only with this. It's only with the sword power. But as you hit people, they just continue to like bounce in place. And even though he was defeated, I walked up to him, hit myself, and hurt myself. And so when I started playing it and didn't know that was a thing, I just kept on hurting myself. So I was expecting them to go flying, and they did not. I don't have words for creepy mouth Kirby. So like that one, like that. So that was considered a mouthful mode form. That kind of reminds me of in Super Mario Odyssey. There were certain powers that whenever you would use them, you would use them for like one thing. Like they weren't quite as fleshed out. Like almost like the Moai statue looked very cool, right? But he wasn't useful. You used him for to put the sunglasses on to see one thing in Super Mario Odyssey, and that was it. It wasn't like the onion, the stretchy onion guy, or the little Tuki, the little kiwi bird. It just wasn't on that same thing. So like, the cone mouth seems to be the one you use the most in this demo, which is fine. It's just stab the ground and move. It's basically just a ground pound for Kirby, right? So whatever. But dome mouth, not useful. You just get on a barbecue grill or a water tower or whatever that was supposed to be and go about your business. The music is so good. Okay, yep, I almost hurt myself again on that. I may have just come to the conclusion finally after all this time that I don't think okay, he's dead. I don't think the sword power is going to be my main power that I'm like, yes, please, give me that. All right, traversal power, engage. Having your powers be connected to an area like this, where it's like, oh, you can use this when you find it, and then they put a ladder there so you can't get up it, right? Having a power that is in a location like that just reminds me of the way that developers make games when they're like, oh, you're playing Gears of War. Do you like the was the Hammer of Dawn? Okay, well, you're gonna have it for this level. And then they put a limitation in it where they're like, oh, the Hammer of Dawn, the sun is behind the clouds now, or the satellite's behind the clouds, so we can't summon it. Oh, I guess you'll have to put it down and can't use it for the whole game. Like, I get they don't want to bust the game wide open, and that's why like this, they're like, you don't need the car all the time, but you want the car all the time. You can't have it, but you want. That is a lot of coins. Thank you. I will accept these coins you give to me. So there's 3 Waddle Dees in that the first time I did it, and they all dance with you as well. Sorry I couldn't show that off because it was cute. Also, apparently this game has gotchas in it, which that led to a very probably unhealthy obsession with Zippo lighters and gotchas in Shenmue in the past. I'm like, oh, I want to go play dumb booth games so that I can go get more gotchas. Huh. Okay, well, there you go. There's a bonus for watching the preview. Sweet. Now we get some Regal Cinema music here while we play this. I'm gonna fight the boss again because I want to. Figure it's about what better way to go out on the demo to just see it through, right? To show it off, just do the thing. Here we go. I really like the way that this game looks. I know I've said it before. I know I'm, gonna talk about it again because it's a new biome. I like this look that reminds me of the final world from Kirby and the Crystal Shards. I forget what the name of it was now, but there was literally a planet that was iced over because like global warming had basically killed humanity, and so it was just like a factory that was still running and there were no people, and we just like showed up as Kirby and played through it like a Kirby ass Kirby world, but it just had this really creepy, oh my god, what is the walrus hat? Oh, right, ice powers, duh. Bomb, sword, and ice, get a choice. I'm gonna choose this one because it looks cute and you get to ice skate. All right, so when you use this originally, you don't have the little cute hat. You have like ice spiky hair. I don't know what the snowman does. Are you supposed to hit it? Ah, right. Well, I hit the first one and it just like broke apart. I was like, boink. That's interesting. I have an idea for how to use that. Okay, can't go that way. It's a cutscene playing out. Still playing. It's pretty neat. I just realized he has a nose ring. The hair textures on him look really, really good until you get this close, and then they do not look good. Strong-armed beast Gorimondo. Alright, I really want to try out the... Woo. I want to try hitting him with one of those and see what happens, because... Okay, not as useful as I thought it would be. Alright, so if you just get under his legs and ice breath him, you're good until he starts stomping. And you can actually stack up ice on him to the point where he completely freezes, and then he'll shatter and it'll do a bunch of damage. Alright, so that needs to be dodged. Get your other foot out there. There we go. I thought that was a really cool effect, that it's like, it's almost like a game very dear to my heart. It's almost like Stasis from Destiny. Like they slow and then it builds up to actually locking them in and freezing them. Woo. Also, something that feels really cocky about being able to just like that being your jump. You're like, come on, why aren't you trying? I'm over here. Woo! Gotcha. And I got hit with that. I'm probably always gonna get hit with that move. I'm just gonna tank it and go, right? That's fine. What is he doing? Oh god, oh god, oh no, oh, what's the lariat? Oh, what is this lariat? Oh no, that's bad. Oh no. I was not ready for the lariat to run wild. Wait, did he just freeze himself by stomping the walruses? No, he did not. Olay! So the first time I fought him when I was playing through the demo, I beat him really quickly with the ice power because I just kept freezing. Like I just kept doing the thing where you freeze him and then lock him down like that, right? Oh gosh. Oh no. Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die in the demo to a lariat because I'm trying to force the boss? I hope not. There we go. That'll do. I'll take it. I just realized he has facial hairs, like individual facial hairs. I thought that was ice. And now here's the little trailer of the preview stuff that's coming out. So, I know. I still don't remember seeing another biome. It was still like that city. There was like it was like a dusty part of the city, and then there was like the beach there. I guess the water area will be. So yeah, I guess that does count as a, you know, I would count that a water level. Like that's called a form, but it's just a rail for you to ride on, right? Like it's just another one of those like, oh, we have a mechanic for this one part we want you to try out, and it's never going to be used again. Like the powers, they're cool. They don't seem useful. They seem forced. Like it's not like choose to do this. Co-op seems neat. It looks more fleshed out than most co-ops, which requires you to be like a cursor on screen. I'm very excited about there being mini games and fishing, of course, absolutely. There's the gotcha machine I was talking about. There's your world map flyover. Leveling up your abilities. Yeah. Very excited about some of these powers. That just looks like you turn into Meta Knight. Experience an exciting all-new story. Meet new friends. Rescue abducted Waddle Dees. There's your Wispy Woods boss, but he's a palm tree now. And battle an invasion of ferocious foes, the Beast Pack. There's your new Tumblr, waifu, the circus cat. There is actual Meta Knight. I didn't see it the first time. And then there's DDD. But he's like primal DDD. He looks like he's constantly blushing because most of the time Kirby's looking up at him, right? So the camera just had like the red on his cheeks that you couldn't see it across his nose. So it just looked like he was like blushing. I don't know. It feels good to play other than the issue I have with the sword powers. And the music's good. The game looks pretty. I don't have anything bad to say about it, and it's a pretty beefy demo. You get 3 stages, right? You get the tutorial, you get an actual stage, and then you get a boss fight. It's a good time. It's fun. I liked it. I will probably play the full game when it comes out, just because, if for no other reason than like coverage and hey, that was pretty fun, and it looks like the Crystal Shards, and I love that game. So if it is anywhere near close to the Crystal Shards, I will be excited to play it. I find it difficult sometimes to describe games like this in previews because it's like, have you played a Kirby game? It's a Kirby game. But then there's, you know, it's not like Odyssey where there is this large departure where it's like, well, you're not punching and kicking and throwing fireballs and stuff, right? You're turning into enemies and using their powers. It kind of feels like they took that idea from Mario, but you also totally still get the powers and the transformative powers from the Crystal Shards where you could upgrade them. I'm really hoping the combo stuff it was in, because that was very cool stuff. I'm hoping it's not just powering them up. Though powering them up is still way cooler than not having any of that. But yeah, to digress, it's like, it plays like a Kirby game, but it's really pretty and it's new. So that's not a knock against it. It's out on the 25th and God, that feels like that was like forever ago, but also it's not here yet. Like it feels like it was just Christmas, right? Anyway, I will sit here and talk all day, but I have coffee to go drink, and you all have a day to go have. So until then, have a good one. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again real soon. Bye.